Everybody was kung fu fighting, become fast as lightning.
Welcome to responding to dumb Forsaken comments, where I respond to some comments that I think are, well, dumb. Now, to be fair, not all of them are dumb or completely invalid, but as we get further into the video, you'll see that a lot of them are. So let's just get right into it and start looking at some comments. Our first comment comes from Fatty Seal, who says, "Bro went from killing toxic players to being a toxic player." So a lot of people have said something similar about me becoming toxic, and I think part of the misunderstanding lies in how I play Guest. A lot of people have pointed out that I emote a lot throughout the video, even if I already have the killer's attention. That's because I'm not just emoting to get their attention. When it comes to playing against skilled killers, the block ability is mostly based on mind games, so I emote throughout the game to make the killers more aggressive and eager to attack me whenever they get the chance. This makes them more predictable, and it makes it easier to land my blocks and stuns. Hopefully that clears up some confusion about my excessive emoting. But of course, that's not the only reason people said I was toxic in that video. This comment from the silliest 1x1 says, "Why does this video low-key make you look like an egoistic sweat and instantly want revenge for losing once?" Well, I really only cared about beating him with Guest because he was pretty good at the game, and I simply like having challenging matches. It's part of why I climbed to the global leaderboard in Untitled Boxing Game, and most of my other favorite Roblox games are ones with somewhat high skill ceilings. I just thought it would be fun to win as a survivor after redeeming myself as a killer. I can definitely see how it seems like I wanted to prove I'm a better player, but rest assured, that's just not what my intentions were. I've lost tons of matches and I've never tried to hide that, and there's no reason why I'd be so caught up about losing one game all of a sudden. If anything, the only toxic thing that happened was him calling me not good after I won fair and square, but even then, I didn't respond in game and just put a short message in the video stating complete facts. The next comment is from Boris Joff, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and he says, "I think he was trying to heal you. Don't blame him for the noob being in the way." Yes, the Elliot was trying to heal me, and I'm glad that he was. That already puts him above the majority of Elliots who play like survivalists instead of supporting their team. However, there is a bright yellow person standing right in front of him. I don't see how it made any sense to throw the pizza in my direction while the noob is blocking him. And while that does make it the noob's fault, it's also partially the Elliot's fault for not using common sense and throwing it somewhere else, or just waiting until I'm in front of the noob. Regardless, it wasn't even that serious of an issue I had with the Elliot, and I forgave him shortly after. This next comment is from a random guy, and he says, "Look, I think you being attacked as a Builderman is more because of your incompetence. Any minimally decent killer knows that if the builder is building near them, they should attack the builder because it is a free hit. Build away from the killer if you don't want to take free hits." I'd normally agree with this, except in previous rounds, when I would build away from the killer, none of those teammates would go to the buildings. So I thought that by building right next to all of them, they would finally see where the buildings are and actually use them. Also, Jason's chase music radius is pretty small, so I didn't know how soon he'd show up. What I did know was that my teammates were all sentinels, so if the killer came over, I'd have some stunners looking out for me, right? Well, apparently not, and it's why I just like playing sentinels most of the time, so that I can rely on myself when I don't think the teamwork is there. Up until now, these comments have been pretty civil and reasonable, so let's look at the comments that convinced me to title this video the way that I did. This banger of a comment is from CookieStar15, who says, "The reasons of TQI been toxic are 1. Instantly beginning beef with random people. 2. Record on how he flexes his skills on them to post it on YouTube and gain visits. 3. Laugh at others and make clickbait titles to make fun of people. 4. Rage because N2 time wind against him on an LMS. 5. He used emotes on people to annoy and troll them to rage quit. 6. Every time he gets chased, he argues with, "He begins targeting me." 7. He only do this for visits. 8. He uses special SFX to mock and annoy people. 9. Don't care when the people that he annoys respond to his videos and told him to erase the video. 10. As last reason is that he covers his voice by a personalized IA voice to avoid using his voice because he's probably an immature 12 to 18-year-old. Where do I begin with this one? At least it's a list, so I guess that makes things a bit easier. First, I didn't beef with anyone in the video. I barely even said anything in chat. The only two things I said were that I was going to switch off of support so that hopefully someone else might play support, and that I'd lock in as killer, because the previous round the killer just sat there and we were all being friends. I didn't want everyone to be under the impression that I was betraying them if I just started killing them immediately the next round. I just wanted to warn them out of courtesy. Second, of course I'm going to record my gameplay, and I would think it's more entertaining for you guys if I'm not just trash at the game. Third, I laughed about the rage quit because rage quits are funny. It has nothing to do with disrespect for that killer or anything personal like that. I also have no idea why you're saying that I'm clickbaiting, but I'll get to that later. Fourth, where exactly do I rage? I just wanted to go up against this killer, and I even imply he's a good challenge by saying I might go down trying. Fifth, I already talked about earlier in the video. Sixth, I only said he was targeting after he walked past two teammates who weren't even moving. Seventh, I assume you mean views, and if I only cared about views, I wouldn't be proud of having 1 subscriber in my earliest video, would I? Eighth, I use funny sound effects in all of my videos, so why is it only a problem now? And they're only in the video, not the game. You know that, right? It's called video editing. Ninth, this one's just too funny. Should I also give you my credit card information if you tell me to? And 10th, well, here I am, buddy. Not an AI. After reading those 10 fucking commandments, I'd love to end things off there, but there's some more I just couldn't ignore. This comment is from I Am a Cute Noob, who says, title, opposite, thumbnail, fake, video, opposite. Clickbaiting viewers and being toxic instead of killing toxic players is just crazy, bro. Well, I guess some of you need to brush up on some reading skills, because when did I say I was trolling toxic players? The only time I ever even wrote the word toxic was for the hashtags, because I just copied them from the previous videos and the description, where I wrote that guest can troll killers both toxic and not toxic. And even if I call them toxic in the description or the tags, those don't show up when you see the video on your YouTube feed. So clearly, I didn't clickbait you because I never advertised that I was trolling any toxic players in the video. But TQI, you might say. Surely they have a point about the thumbnail and video. Well, let's take a look at them. First, I call guest annoying, because emoting a lot is annoying for the killers, and I did that in the video. The pretty princess says they're leaving, because she did leave in the video. The Gasherpoon says I'm not good, because he did that in the video. The map in the background is in the video. The only thing that didn't happen in the video was me saying sweet revenge, but that's because I was just referring to the fact that guest can block attacks and get revenge by punching the killer. And I was originally going to name the video something along the lines of guest is the ultimate revenge artist, but I didn't feel like I parried enough in the video. So if anything, I was avoiding clickbaiting you guys. So please, someone explain to me how I clickbaited, because a lot of comments said that I did, and I just don't see how that's true at all. This last comment from IDKP333 pretty much lets me sum up the important stuff. They say, wow, what an a-hole, ruining the experience for others, such as taunting and being toxic to them. I wasn't being toxic, and when I use emotes a lot while playing guest, it's almost always just a tactic and not out of disrespect. So how exactly am I ruining the experience if I'm not being disrespectful, I'm not exploiting or bug abusing, and I'm just quietly playing the game? So that's about everything I saw people have problems with. Of course, so many other comments were unnecessarily rude, which I find ironic given they were complaining about someone being toxic. But I'm not going to go through over 1,000 comments and show all of them here. Instead, just leave a comment on this video if you want to discuss anything further, and I'll try my best to clarify anything not already clear in this video. Thanks for watching.